The best way you can support me is with a simple subscribe. Subscribe to my channel for more content like this.
All right, Mr. TALIAFERRO TV. So here's the situation, all right? 21 Savage has pretty much joined the list of young rappers who think the OG rappers are hating on them. Now, I will give my opinion afterwards. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody, by the way. This is one of those things where you can look at both sides of the fence and you could pretty much you can side with either one. You see points from both sides. It really just depends on your age, what you listen to as music, and it kind of you just kind of gotta go from there, right? So 21 Savage said this on his Instagram account. He said, "Why so many OG rappers judge the new generation? They say we make drug user music like making drug selling music is better. What's the difference? What about the fact that rap is the #1 genre of music right now? None of y'all acknowledge that. Artists been snorting cocaine and smoking crack since the 70s and 80s. Did y'all forget about that? Instead of judging, how about y'all make a change? If the message in the previous generation of rap was so good, why did so many of our parents abandon us for crack? Why are we still killing each other? Don't use us as the scapegoat. Our music is a reflection of what's going on in our community, and all we doing is using our talent to escape that community." Now, let's put something in perspective before I get to what T.I. responded to 21 Savage with. Let's put something in perspective. Rap music has become by far the most popular genre of music. 21 was right about that. Rap music is a way for a lot of young African Americans to get out of their situation, right? I'm not going to talk about all the other genres capitalizing on hip hop. I'm talking about the African Americans from the streets, from the hoods and poverty, finding ways to get out. This is what rap music has become, and it's a good thing. All right, I was listening to Maxine Waters talk about she doesn't care how these kids get money as long as it's legal. We need to get money, and I kind of side with that as well. We need wealth. We don't have any wealth in our black communities. We need generational wealth to change things. And to give rappers credit, I do see a lot of rappers talking about gang this, gang that, but I do see a lot of them putting their kids in better situations, and their kids seem to be growing up in the private schools and everything like that. So they might have had to make the sacrifice of their lives and maybe sacrificed a lot of other people who listen to their music, but they are allowing their kids to grow up in better environments, and I always salute that. But it gets tough, man. I'm not going to sit. I tell people all the time, I won't be in hip hop forever because I don't like where it's going. It's tough when you got to sit around and see so many kids do what these rappers are not doing anymore. 21 Savage is a good example. 21 Savage, though he might still give back, and if anybody try him, I'm pretty sure he's well equipped. But 21 Savage would tell you himself, his day-to-day is not in the hood anymore, but his music is still what it was like when he was in the hood. Well, he doesn't have to live with some of the things that a lot of these kids who listen to his music do. They going out and going to these clubs and doing the things that 21 Savage continues to rap about. And when we talk about drugs, yes, it is very difficult to even have this conversation about rap because yo, the 80s and the 90s rappers, yo, they was telling us to use this stuff. And like, I guess we feel like, I think we think every 10 years, people just come from like planet Pluto or something like that. So in the 80s and 90s, they were telling us to use these drugs, right? In the early 2000s, right? So the people, and this is what 21 Savage was saying, the people who were selling the drugs, they had to sell it to somebody. And now we got a generation of people whose mothers and fathers were drug users and abusers. It's like, yo, y'all rappers were selling these drugs or saying sell the work. And it's like, yo, who you think they were selling it to? People of the communities. You were selling it to, I think Jay talks about that all the time. He was selling it to his partners, aunties, and uncles. All right? It's just, it has to make sense. These rappers and other guys were selling these drugs to someone. And the someone, these guys are now coming up and they're people who've used these drugs or their parents have used these drugs and it's reflected on them, right? So I just think we got to understand the chain reaction. Now, I want to know something that Tip said, T.I. Harris. He chimed in on this after he seen what 21 Savage said, and he wasn't disagreeing with 21 Savage. He was kind of siding with him. He was like, little bro speaking the real truth, though. The fact of the matter is, there's been good, bad, great, mediocre artists and otherwise in every generation, even ours. The founding era and the golden era of the 90s, they're not the only generation to make user music either. Can anyone remember a little album called The Chronic? or hit records like Slipping on Some Scissor. Regardless of the subject matter, this is their time. Could nobody tell us how to run ours or make us sound how they thought we should. Live your life and do your stuff, youngin. Just bear with us and try to understand. Y'all niggas kind of different. It takes some getting used to. As the elders got to understand, their success justifies the change. The numbers don't lie. Can't hate on that. All right, and another part of the older generation that I think is so telling, I thought everyone was in this to make the sport better, right? Hip-hop, the sport. Well, y'all made it better. And I think there's a little jealousy from artists who paved the way. And I get it. It should be like this. These artists who paved the way, they weren't able to out the gate first year make 50, 60K a show. Man, you got artists like Lil Pump. He's probably 30, 40 out the gate. A lot of the hoods don't even listen to Lil Pump, right? And you got guys who like Rev Run who had to sacrifice I mean, come on now, that list can go on forever with the amount of artists who had to make sacrifice to put us in positions and make hip hop what it is today. But you got artists right now, Lil Uzi's probably $100K to book for a show. Like, it's just that simple. I thought you guys wanted to make it better, but I could understand why some of that old generation, or how much money they didn't make and how much money the new generation is making, how that could hit them the wrong way. I'm with you there. I like what T.I. said. He wasn't trying to come in no hateful way to 21 Savage. He just said, look, y'all got to give us time to understand this. This is a lot. We got men wearing dresses. We got pink hair. We got guys who they'll still pop you even though they wear a dress. It's a lot to take in. I'm with you on that. And again, I'm not judging anyone. I'm just telling you what T.I. was pretty much speaking on. I just think this drug conversation is very interesting. It's very complex because the general consensus of the 90s rap was selling. In the early 2000s, selling. And now we are in 2017 where it's using. I'm depressed. I'm using. I'm struggling. I can't get through the night unless I'm using. Future wrote a record. The hook on it was Percocet. Molly Percocet, and it was one of the top records in the country. All right, mask off. You got Lil Uzi Verse and the EXO Tour Life, one of the biggest records of 2017. How you listen to the words of that song? I mean, the User is now one of the top artists in the game. The Users are the top artists in rap right now, and outside of obviously the Kendricks and J. Cole's, the Spitters. But right now, them kids are going to the shows to see Futures and the Uzis and the mumble rappers, because most of the mumble rappers are users. And this is very interesting, and I think this could end very badly. Somebody needs to put a stop to this. I would think deaths like Lil Pump will wake these rappers up, but it seems like it's going to take more than that. We're going to have to put an end to this using generation, and hell, we got to clean up what the 90s and early 2000s did as well. We got to put an end to the seller generation, because again, if you're selling to somebody has to be on the other end of that. We got to kill both of those to kind of grow in society. I think partially one reason why people don't want to let go of this drug culture is because most of their rap content comes from that, and it scares them if they think about the possibilities of not being able to have that drug culture around. All right, Mr. Taliaferro TV, T.I. says, look, I'm with you, 21 Savage. You're right. Nobody stopped us and made us kick it the way we want, or make us kick it a certain way. All right. Have y'all forgot about the 3-6 mafias of the world? The Pimp C's and Bun B's? Y'all forgot about all that? I'm just saying. Gosh, I mean, please, you talk about hypocritical. Now, I think another part of it is there's also much more of everything right now because of social media, and I think that's also a part of it. So though you might have a J. Cole, Kendrick, or a Drake, or whoever else you want to name who's got some sort of message in their music, different messages, but some sort of message in their music, and they're not talking about dope. The other part of that is, for every 3 of them, you got 1,000 SoundCloud mumble rappers. All right, so the numbers just don't equal out, and the only thing that equals out is these venues, right? Drake is doing a nice arena tour, right? Or, you know what I mean? And then Kendrick can do an arena tour. But also, you put a Lil Pump, Lil Uzi, and maybe a couple other Yachty on the tour, they're going to be able to sell out an arena as well. The numbers, you know what I mean? It's just tough right now. Thank y'all for the time and the support. I don't take it for granted. What y'all think about this whole story? Subscribe to my channel for more exclusive content like this. Talk to me about the OG rapper versus young rapper thing. What is the biggest difference for you? I want to hear your opinions on this. All right? I'm out. What's going on is yours truly, Mr. Taliaferro. And if you enjoyed this latest video, whether it's sports, hip-hop, or other culture-related activities, please subscribe to my channel right now. And if you want more from Taliaferro, you can always subscribe to the React channel for more of your latest reactions and music and sports highlights.